Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we have this 2022 Porsche Taycan, and we're going to do the side door chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before doing the installation on the side trim. It's just a regular chrome panel. And this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material. That way it gives the vehicle a sportier look and changing the look on the panel as well. If you like the product, link for the product will be linked below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before starting with the installation, we need to make sure we prep the panel. So all we need to do is apply water and baby shampoo, mix it in a spray bottle. Once you have your solution, spray it onto a clean microfiber towel and remove all the contaminants that the panel may have. And then once you're done prepping the panel, make sure that everything's completely dry and clean. That way the adhesive on the film is able to tack down to the panel, because if the trim is still wet or it has any water left over, the adhesive will not stick to the panel even if you apply heat. So you need to make sure everything's completely clean and dry before you start with the installation. So once you prep the panel, now we can start with the installation. So with this one, because this piece is the biggest piece on the vehicle, I would recommend tacking it down first to the panel. That way it just stays tacked down and you're able to work section by section. When you tack it down halfway. That way you're able to still work around here. And we're going to need the door open for this one. So let me place that there and open the door. Now that we're ready for the installation, remember, just place the film on the panel. That way you're able to work around this area. So just align it to this section of the panel right on the edge. And you have extra material in case you want to tuck it underneath the panel to wrap around. So with this one, once you place it here, I would recommend aligning it on the top section of the panel here. That way you could trim out the extra material underneath here. So just align it as you go. Take your time as you're aligning it and make sure you're covering all of the chrome panel. And the final piece should reach up to where the cutout of the panel is located. So if you do have excess material, you can just trim it off right exactly where the cutout is located. So take a look at the film, make sure it looks aligned. If you do need to readjust it, just lift it carefully to realign it. So just place it and align the film. Now you would grab your squeegee and start tacking the film down. And make sure as you're tacking down, you remove all of the air bubbles that are trapped behind the film. So just go all around the film. And then once we're done tacking it down, then we continue with the lower section. Okay, once you finish securing the film, the next step is to apply heat. That way the adhesive on the film is able to activate and also curve and tack down to the shape of the panel. So just go all around applying heat just to help the film start shaping to the shape of the panel. And then remember, if you want to wrap the film up around this rubber gasket here, you can. You would just need to move the film and remove the gasket slowly to the side and then wrap it around. So apply heat to start helping the film wrap around the shape. Okay, and then you would trim off the excess material. Just make sure you have enough material to cover underneath the panel as well. And then there is a small gap in between the chrome panel and the rubber gasket that's located underneath here. So once you located that gap, that's where you would insert your blade and trim off the excess material. Okay, once you have it wrapped around the curve, now we can start trimming off the excess material. So just take your time as you trim off the excess material. Make sure you don't take off too much and you only take off what is actually excess material. So this part, good to go. We're just going to apply heat, that way the film tacks down. And then continue with the rest. Trim as you go. So once you finish installing the top piece, now we can move on with the lower section. So it's the same concept, just make sure you start from one edge, align it there, You could give yourself a little bit of more material just to wrap around the curve here. And then for this one, you're going to use the lower section of the panel as the guide, as opposed to how we did it on the top. The two lower sections, we're going to use the lower section to align it. So just follow the panel and that's it. And then you would just repeat the process that we did for the top piece for this one, and same for this one. So it's pretty much identical. The only different one sort of is the rear, because it's a curve, but it's pretty easy to install that one. Just tack it down with your squeegee, apply heat, then trim off extra material, and then do the same for the rear piece. So for this last piece, all you need to do is align the film right on the edge and just make sure you have enough material to cover this small curve here, and also enough material to cover the rest of the panel. So align it, see if it covers everything. It does, so you should be good here, and just follow the design of the rest of the panel. And just like that, and all we need to do now is grab our squeegee and tack it down. For the curved area here, we're just going to apply a little bit of heat. That way we help release the tension here and help it tack down, and also apply heat on the curve here. And then once we're done applying heat on the panel and everything is tacked down, we'll trim off the extra material. Okay, once you finish applying heat, use your squeegee one more time just to tack down the film to secure it to the panel. And also, once you're done tacking it down, then we create an outline of where we need to trim off the extra material. That way we don't trim off too much excess. So just lift it carefully, tack it down, and now create the outline of where you're going to trim the extra material. And just do it all around wherever you see your extra material. So there's some here, and then right here, the film is overlapping with this one right now, but you could trim it off right at the cutout. That way it matches the layout, or you could leave it overlap just a bit. It'll be personal preference. So just whichever one you decide, just make sure you tack it down and seal it. Okay, now create your outline of where you need to trim off the extra material, and then you can trim it off. And just take your time when you're doing this step, that way you don't accidentally expose too much of the chrome. And once you finish trimming off or tucking in the material, just apply heat to seal the film. That way the film stays tacked down and it doesn't lift over time. And then once we're done applying heat, we're going to move on with post-heating the entire panel. So once you finish installing the whole piece for the side trim, the last thing to do would be to post heat the entire panel. So all you need is your heat gun, and just go section by section and apply heat to help the adhesive activate faster on the film. So take your time when you're doing this. Make sure you get each corner and all of the panel. If you see any film still lifting, just bring it back down with heat and it should all be good. And then once you're done with this step, you'll be done with the installation. Thank you for choosing Bogar Tech Design. As a small business, your support means everything to us. If you loved your product, please drop a review. If you have questions or issues, don't forget to message us via email. Once again, thank you so much for the support from our family to yours. So that concludes the installation video for the side chrome delete for the 2022 Porsche Taycan. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. If it did, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.